All right, what's going on YouTube and Twitch alike? I'm currently live on Twitch right now as I'm doing this video. So if you want to come check me out after I finish this video, I should still be live today. It is the 4th of June 2020. I'm going to go over this week's TWAB. So, and if you want to catch me live on Twitch, you can catch me Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, 5 p.m. and on Twitch. You follow me on Twitter at SilenceIsWaffles and all that fun stuff. If you like the video, you know what to do. All right. This week at Bungie, what's up, Echo? This week at Bungie, Season of Worry is ready to departure. Before we talk about anything else, we like to maintain our focus on the events unfolding around the world. You may have seen demonstrations in your town, or like many of us, down the street from the place you call home. This is involving the incident that happened with George Floyd, which has definitely put me on tilt personally. Bungie has put out their own words and thoughts on the situation, and standing as allies with black people, people of color, in the process that's going on right now. And yeah, that's really all I got for that right now. I really don't want to go into it. It's a very emotional thing. I hope you all will check out the links and stuff that they provided on the TWAB. Please go and read the TWAB for yourselves to get these links. I implore you. A lot of you guys don't go and read this thing in full. Skim through it. Go read this. Get these links. I'll be posting these links at the bottom of my video as well. And yeah, support it that way. Support whatever you can, any way you can. Be an ally. All right. And by being an ally, Black Lives Matter. Do not come across with that other crap. That's all I'm gonna say. But they spit out their own stuff, talking about support for that. I'm gonna kind of skim over a little bit of this stuff to support things. We know what's going on. It is Pride Month as well, so they're supporting that as well too. Don't forget about that. Please go share and support whoever you can in the LGBTQIA plus community. I knew it got longer. I didn't know what the last two were. I know it was A. I didn't know I was in there. But yeah, go support any of your friends in the community, in the LGBTQIA community plus community, and if they're like some sort of content creator or whatever the case may be, content creator or not, friend, family, like person on the street that you know, like anybody. Well, show your support as an ally with them as well. That's it. I'm scrolling down. Other than Destiny 2, you've been watching The Approach of the Almighty. You're itching to see the collision of the season, but you're also starting to hear whispers of what's coming next season. Join us on Tuesday, June 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time to learn about the future of Destiny 2. So they are going to have a stream next week with probably some more of the trailer reveals that they've been doing all this week, as well as their own stream that they're going to go over whatever is coming into the next season. We still don't know the name of the season. It's still Season of Redacted. There's a Drifter trailer. There's also the Heirs trailer that we have. So if you want me to play this, I think I can right here. Nope, can't play it right now. Haha. We'll go find them and we'll go watch them. Actually, can I do it from here? So this was the Drifters trailer. If it'll let me do it. Nah, not from here. Not from here. Oh well. We'll go back and we'll watch them at the end of this. Kind of skim over that. Preview 2.9.0 Destiny update 2.9.0 will become available next week, meaning we have a pile of patch notes to get through. Let's take a quick look to see what the changes are. Eververse, a few TWABs back, we talked about the future of Eververse and how we're making changes to some reward structures to better balance gameplay rewards with Eververse content. Season of the Redacted will contain a few introductory changes, with more shifts coming in Season 12. Following changes will become available next week. Legendary armor ornaments, as noted in the previous TWABs. Again, go read those TWABs if you haven't. We have shifted from Season 11 armor offering to be a gameplay reward for aspirational content. The Season of Opulence and Intrepid ornament sets are returning to the storefront. Season Pass added on an additional 2300 Bright Dust to the Season Pass, and Bright Dust purchases added a flare section to feature shaders and spawn effects. Highly requested items from previous seasons will once again be available. We're looking at you, Wishes of Sorrow, and we will once again communicate Season 11 silver only items at the beginning of the season We're expecting to have an update later in Season 11 on further changes to Bright Dust acquisition, so keep your eyes open. Hopefully this means that they have something along the lines of better bounties or something like that that generates, not even bounties, no bounties, my bad. Better acquisition, meaning like during the activity, just in general, you get Bright Dust alongside Glimmer and every other material that you can grab. So hopefully they do that. And carry on. Sandbox changes. The powerful Friends armor mod no longer stacks. If multiple copies of this mod are equipped, the mods will provide no bonus stats at all. Good job. Finally. Powerful Friends granted plus 20 mobility, which players could leverage to get 3 stat columns to the next 100 points. The mod is not priced sufficiently to justify its benefits, and increasing its cost would have adverse effects on its primary benefit usage. Season 11 introduces a new arc mod granting a similar stat bonus to strength and will not stack. Enhanced auto rifle reloader and enhanced fusion rifle loader and enhanced bow loader armor mods now have a chance to drop from Pinnacle mod sources. All right, so they're throwing those into the mix. I did notice that. So those are mods that were previously attached to the artifact. If you don't know, so like if you haven't paid attention and you weren't really like keen to it, there's certain reloader mods or certain scavenger mods and all that kind of stuff that weren't on the armor period because they were on the seasonal artifacts. So now they're taking those and finally throwing them into the rotation as just basic armor mods. So that's good. Hopefully they'll never come back around. Hopefully they'll stop that kind of thing and just make them basic armor mods from the get-go. Like I feel like with just those 3 additions, I think there's a few more that they're probably gonna slowly iterate, because I don't think all of them, all the ones that were there, maybe the ones just from this season they haven't pushed on there yet because they're still in current rotation. But we'll see. Raid rewards. The following raid exotics now have increased drop chances: 1,000 voices, anarchy, always on time. Exotic Sparrow from the secret chest and Scourge of the Past. Drop chance at 10% and increases to a max 50% over 20 clears. Oh! That slightly pisses me off because I just got anarchy after all those runs. But that's good for new people. We go in and we teach them to do the raid. Let me read a couple of the other comments. Hey, yeah, banner and wait. That banner and crap. Yeah, the banners and stuff look nice. Those banners from, you talking about the banners from the TWAB? Those armor sets are buns. Let's see. Quests would be cool, like some sort of stuff. You always say the armor sets are buns, Dre. Please go back and look at it. To each their own, homie. Trials rewards. Trials rewards, additional masterwork materials rewarded now drop at 3, 5, and 7 wins. Added a Trials weekly bounty, which unlocks the Trials engrams on Saint 14. Okay. I don't know how, like, I feel like, why would it unlock the engram? Why is the engram locked? Is the engram locked at 3 wins? I don't even remember. We'll find out tomorrow. I thought the engram was already naturally unlocked if you had tokens, but you had to get tokens first in order to pop the engram. So why is it being locked? Is it being locked off, or is it already unlocked, or is it locked off at 3 already? Like I need to know more. Like I don't play Trials enough to know. The bounty reward will match the win 3 milestone reward of the week. Okay. So is this to keep people from token farming? I don't understand. That doesn't really stop anybody, but whatever. Trials tokens distribution has been rebalanced to focus on wins 3, 5, and 7 of a Trials passage. This includes repeat passages. Trials tokens are no longer awarded from match completions. Tokens are now granted specifically through wins and bounties. Okay. So you have to win. Okay. That'll slow down the token farming. Passage of Wealth now doubles the bonus. Trials tokens earned at 3, 5, and 7 Trials wins. Hope you've enjoyed the appetizer, full course, and more coming on June 9th. See you then. All right, reading all of that, it sounds like they got a good idea going here. But again, I feel like the locking off thing, I don't know. I mean, either way, you unlock it at the 3rd win, so, and then you don't get any tokens until you win your games. So I don't know how to really feel about that. I don't necessarily care for Trials. I do want to jump in there at some point, but like, and like dig a little bit deeper and try to go for flawless at some point. But right now, for me, aspirationally, it's nothing in there that I really want to go do. Um, um, so yeah, I'm gonna just slide on past this. Stop asking for new stuff, Dre. You keep asking for new stuff, man. Settle on in with what you got for a second. Settle on in, look at it, look over it, put some shaders on it, see how you like it. Outside of that, stop asking for new stuff. You keep asking for new stuff. Stop asking for new stuff. You barely use your old stuff. Go get more armor sets. Go get more things. Make more useful builds and stuff like that. Stop asking for new stuff when you ain't even gonna use it. That's how I'm gonna put that. And that's to everybody else out there that's watching this video. Stop asking for new stuff. Use the crap you already got. Or the stuff that's already out there that you can get. But all those who don't make different builds and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell it to those specific people. Everybody else that get random armors and stuff like that, it's a choice. But stop asking for new stuff. Mixing the green done with a bumper jumper. So we heard you like the patch notes previews. They're short, sweet, and to the point. This topic though needs a bit more time to get through. Today, staff designer Lisa Brown takes center stage to walk us through the upcoming controller remapping feature that the team has been working on. Now I'm gonna stop right here. And the reason I'm gonna do this, I play on mouse and keyboard, but I will go over and slowly talk about a few things. All right. We going glance through this. I from time to time like to enjoy myself, kick back and use a controller here and there when I'm doing leisure activities like running through strikes and stuff. But hopefully all you controller warriors are excited about whatever the heck they're about to talk about. Let's see. Lisa, greetings Guardians. I'm Lisa, staff designer on the sandbox team. She introduces herself. She's giving an overview of the remapping feature. Although we have controller presets in Destiny, there aren't enough to meet basic accessibility guidelines for motor control and mobility. We're working with some amazing accessibility consultants, Sherry Ray Thompson, SherryRay.com, and Ian Hamilton. I actually want to check them out to create support for remap. I think Ian Hamilton, is that the guy? We'll look into that later. I think I know who Ian Hamilton is. I feel like I follow him on Twitter. To create support for remapping buttons on the controller, here I'll give an overview of how to use the feature, what it can do, what it can and can't do, and then share some setups that have been used by various Bungie employees as examples. Let's go through these overviews real quick. They slid down here and they showed us. Ooh, they got a nice little pretty thing here. Players can create custom controller layouts by going to the controller section of the settings screen and choosing button layout. A custom option is available in the list. So we can remap the buttons to wherever we want? Is that what you're saying? Please say yes. Button layout A, obviously, then the options down there. Right. So that means yes! That is amazing. That is exactly what you need for controllers. That preset crap that people do, get it out of here. This is revolutionary right here. Not a lot of games do stuff like this, okay? And when they do, it's some mediocre thing where you hit the drop down. And I know I see a drop down on that right side, but it's a mediocre thing where they do, where you can only swap it between 2 buttons or 3 buttons or something like that, right? There's no versatility. Like, hey, if I wanted the fire button to be on my X button, I could have it on my X button because I wanted it there, right? So hopefully they've taken the initiative and put that in there. All right. On this screen, you'll be able to customize. Obviously, I'll just say this: you'll be able to customize mappings for gameplay actions of your character and vehicles, and in general settings like emotes and interacting with the prompts. If you're like me and typically use a preset other than default, you can use the reset button and start from one of those presets. Cool. To rebind a button, select the button mapping action to the action you want, and then the next screen will allow you to input the button you want to remap. And clapping. Okay, verbs. One of the challenges with using with controller remapping in Destiny is that we have a lot of player verbs. Think of verbs as actions: throwing grenades, triggering your super, jumping, sprinting, sliding. With PC remapping, there's a whole keyboard at your disposal to map buttons. On the controller, there's only so many buttons, and we have many more verbs than buttons. To solve this, we allow the player to map an action, not just a button, but also a type of input. Our three support input types of press, long press, double press. Love it. Double presses. I can see this happening for air dashing with a Warlock. It just went straight to my head. Double press air dash. I love it. So press A is a standard button press. Long press, obviously you hold down the button for a brief period to initiate the action, and then double press is basically like you do if you're a top tree Warlock, Thornblade, air dash. Long press. If you switch it, if you're in a controller, you switch to your heavy, you have to hold whatever your top button is, which is Y or triangle, depending on your controller type. So you got to do that. Same thing with pulling out your barricade and stuff like that, like as the examples they use right there. And then a regular press, obviously we know what that is. We all use that. All right. As an example, some of our exotic weapons, Borealis, Symmetry, Hard Light, have an alternate weapon action, which has typically been activated by holding the reload button. Now this can be mapped separately to a different button or input. For example, I like to change it from long press to double press. Now when I want to switch Symmetry's firing mode, I double press the X button. For the double press input, you can also increase the amount of time between the presses. Oh my God, they're getting intricate with it. This is what I'm talking about. Little minor quality of life stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is where we start, and then we can move on to bigger and better things along the way while we're doing this stuff. And it's not like they're going like full tilt on this. They're just throwing these little things here and there. And for me, for me when I see this, 4 years. It's been 4 years of this. I love it. It's like 4 years. This is what 4 years has come to with them building stuff out. So like I'm loving it. 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 Chord support. In addition to remapping actions and individual button, we also supported mapping to chords, meaning 2 buttons pressed simultaneously in a different layout in Destiny. Press the left and right bumpers that together to execute your super is an example of a chord. Here's a custom layout example where a player has mapped some of the basic character options to just a face button using chords. Obviously, you got fire, toggle, zoom, reload, alternate weapon action, melee, grenade, super, and all that stuff. It's dope. It's just dope. Constraint and caveats. Although the feature is a step forward, towards greater motor accessibility in Destiny is still limited in what it can do. For example, the controller remapping feature is limited to gameplay actions, not UI actions. That's fine. One motor accessibility challenge are inputs that require the player to hold a button down. We have options to switch between hold and toggles for some of our actions, but we were not able to address all cases. Examples: weapon firing, clash jump ability, charging, grenades, drawing, and bow. Which I don't think I really would want them to. Like I like the idea of a turbo button. Like, and I think that's what they're kind of like hinting at is you hold a button down and it does something automatically for you. We have this in the game. If you were to apply that kind of option to, let's say, firing just a standard fire rate gun. So case in point, I'm gonna use scout rifles for example. Every scout rifle, pulse rifle, and there's another gun. Actually, no, just scout rifles and pulse rifles. They had. Oh no, sidearms. Sidearms have it too. They have a full auto and a burst fire, right? I wouldn't necessarily want full auto. I mean, not burst fire. They have full auto and then they have single fire, right? I wouldn't necessarily want to have that feature all the time because it kind of breaks up the dynamic of the archetypes. So I'm glad they can't do that at this time. I hope they see that over time. Like, no, we don't want to introduce that kind of thing with firing a weapon. Now, class abilities and charging grenades and stuff like that, maybe. Grenade charging, class ability jumping, I can kind of see it. Drawing a bow, I don't know about all that. Again, that's the same thing. Like, you draw a bow, you hold the button, and you just constantly pop. It's auto fire. Like I kind of feel a little odd about that. And I've used auto fire before on my mouse. And granted, if I'm lazy, I feel okay about it. But sometimes that's just like, it takes away from the fun. It doesn't feel good. It's just like, Using auto fire in the menu though to do an action, that seems fine to me. Like I'm trying to get something like if I'm turning in an item or I'm turning in tokens or something like that, just to get those tokens turned in a little bit faster. That seems okay. So they give an example here about if you press X and some other actions, the long press X The melee action resolves before the duration to detect the long press. So the player would always melee and never do the other action. Okay, and they're also talking about how that all right. So the interruption with that as well. So like one will take precedence over the other. There's no individualized error verification for these cases. The update was just focused on controller remapping. So there are more mappable options that appear here and there, are not yet available for keyboard remapping. For example, individual mappings for different class abilities and some warlock abilities like Phoenix Dive or Icarus Dash. I feel like we have those already though. We have it, like I have a separate button for Icarus Dash. I have a separate button for. Oh, I guess they want to completely separate it, and not have them on the same button itself. I guess so. Our chord support is simultaneously is for simultaneously pressing of two buttons only. It does not detect if one button, if you press one button, hold it down, and then press another. Unlike our presets, there's no dynamic controller preview image for the custom layout. Bungie examples here. A few examples of custom mappings that some of our Bungie employees enjoy. Start my own, typically a jumper player, but I also have a problem with melee on right stick press. Even though it's a faster input for my hand to reach, I am a stress clicker, and many a perfect shot lineup have been ruined by a wayward melee. I needed to move my melee actions to somewhere more intentional so I could put it on A and move super back onto the double bumper chord. I put player highlight back onto the right stick, but made my finisher double press A. I also made my alternate weapon action double press A instead of long press A. I can understand that. So she's just giving off the examples of what she has tried, and a couple of other people have as well. It's like the same thing with us, like with mouse and keyboard. I typically place everything in a smooth pattern, or for me, piano pattern. So like switching weapons, and yeah, pretty much switching weapons 1 2 3 are all in piano fashion. 1 2 3. Any other things that I don't really press that often, like blocking and stuff like that, are on Z, X, C, and V. And then obviously WASD is for my movement. On my mouse, I have my melee, my grenades, and my special ability if I have one. So like if I need to dash, my dash is actually on my mouse, and I can aim and dash at the same time. It's kind of crazy. You wouldn't think it, but it does, and it helps me do a lot of things really quickly. Same thing with like sliding and running. Shift, I believe, is my run. Control is my crouch. But at one point I had caps lock as my run and shift as my crouch, because my dexterity in my hands had been a while for me to play a first-person shooter on the mouse and keyboard. So the dexterity in my finger, aka my pinky, wasn't quite there yet anymore. So I had to adjust it. I had to use that first, and then slowly start building up the resistance to get from shift to control, and now I'm back to normal. So it happens. All right, last call. It's pretty much the closing time for the season. You don't have to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here. Get these triumphs if you are one of those triumph chasing people. All right. Closing out the season of the Worthy ends at the weekly reset of June 9th. There will be a number of items, activities, and triumphs that will no longer be available to players. Some of these items include Season of the Worthy Pass and any available bonuses, the Season of the Worthy Seal, and Almighty Title. Please note, Almighty Title must be claimed and equipped. You have to claim it and equip it. That means claim it in your triumph section and put the title on in order for it to register. Access to the EDZ, Moon, and IO bunkers, they will be gone. The Warmind Kanjali seasonal artifact and the player powerful increase from said artifact will disappear. So you will be at, if you are max power level, i.e. what I just currently got today on this character, you should be at 1010 when this is gone. If not, your power level will be wherever it sits. So subtract whatever the bonus you got from your artifact is, and that's what your power level is going to be when you get done this season. The Seraph Tower public event will be gone, thank God. And then the 4 Horsemen and Fell Winners live quest will be gone. So my suggestion to you guys is grab those quests while you can. They typically will not delete the quest off the character. So if your character has the quest, this is my experience. I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen like 100%, but this is my experience. If you haven't finished the quest and haven't done them yet, do them and then go about your business. The Fell Winners live quest, I think that's a little bit tricky because that first step, it was actually Seraph Tower involved. So that one I can see disappearing completely. But other than that, they're gonna be going completely. So if you don't have them already, they're very simple and easy quests to do. Just go grab them, find a quick guide somewhere out there on the internet. There's tons of sources. I don't believe I uploaded mine, so which I'm not really worried about uploading, but I will if you ask. If you need a guide, I'll make one. Super quick and easy to do it, and then get them done. They don't take that long. Full list of items being removed at the season's end can be found here. Let's go over there. All right, items and activities. We'll run down this again. Obviously, they said that the title, the cosmetics, the Seraph cosmetics, the emblems and shaders, quest items from the Season of the Worthy, and introductory quest, bunker access, artifact, player power increase from the artifact, bunker upgrades, rank bonuses, bunker bounties, warmine bits, encrypted warmine bits, chipsets for the EDZ, Moon, and IO, repeatable Seraph bounties, Seraph Tower public events, 4 Horsemen, exotic quests, legendary lost sectors, warmine frame event, and Fellwinter's live quest, and all of the triumphs for season 10 will be gone. Back over here. Update 2.9.0 on Tuesday, June 9th. The update will be rolled out at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The server service maintenance begins at that time, 9:45. It's destined to be taken offline on all platforms. 10 a.m. Will begin the time that the update rolls out on all platforms or regions, and players will be able to log back in, should be able to log back in at 10:01. 10:01, again, they said it will be all online on all platforms. 2 p.m. the server maintenance should conclude, but it could go further along. Just keep your eyes peeled on their Twitter. That's the Bungie help with the check mark. Make sure it's a check mark, and then at Bungie as well, because they'll retweet that on the same thing. Whatever your country you're from, or whatever whatever area you're in, country or whatever, there's community managers also for every country. So we have ours. Ours is Deej, Cosmo, and Dylan, or Damage if you don't know who they are. Then you also have the ones over there for Europe, Asia, all that kind of stuff. So it's like France, Germany, like in different areas of Europe, and then also the oceanic people. So I don't know all of them, but I know they are there. So keep an eye out. Make sure you follow all of them too. That's a really good idea to keep up on news and stuff. Upcoming and resolved issues. Let's see what they got on here. Polaris Lance Perfect 5th explosive shot is no longer being canceled by a subsequent shot. Interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. I forgot all about that gun. I should probably try it. I think I need another Polaris Lance though, like a regular one, not the exotic. But either way, Doom Marcher's linear actuators perk will now work after triggering on yellow bar enemies. Okay, you know that was a thing. Don't use Doom Marchers. Players on Steam will no longer have their FPS locked to 30 FPS when relaunching the game. Thank you. Offline players and clans will no longer have their names set to offline. Thank you. Please. Warlock Celestial Fire melee ability will now trigger the Winter Sky Warlord Sigil perk. Hey, now I actually get to use it. Known issues. You can go find those in this list over here. Doesn't really bother me. If the worm used in Broodhold Strike despawns, players need to kill a remaining Worm Knight and place any remaining Worm Knights for another Worm Knight to spawn. Yeah, that was a little bit of an annoying thing, but obviously they're saying like they know it's still there. So that's just the people are being too fast and can't get it done. And that's it. Then they got their last screenings of the season, movies of the week, Quarantine Guardians, and so on and so on. You guys can go watch that for yourselves. I'm currently done. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me while I went over this. Let me know what you guys like about this in the comments down below. For you people on YouTube, everybody in my chat right now, go ahead, let it out. I know y'all got some issues that y'all want to get off y'all chest, like always. Get it out now. We got what, 5 more days till the season is over. Let's have a dialogue. Until then, I see y'all next week, Tuesday, hopefully. Actually, wait. Yeah, Tuesday I'll see you guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the video. I'll see y'all later.